Hello everyone! Amarkel, welcome. Foxlove listed. Gabby, hello, welcome. We're back with my, the game that's targeted to me, specifically me, and nobody else. And I'm having a great time. I'm glad everyone else has been enjoying it. I'm glad that everyone else has been playing ahead of me. Because, what's the opposite of a speedrun? That's whatever we're doing here. But yeah, we're gonna give it a couple more moves while folks filter in, but I hope everyone is doing well on this brisk end of November. Oh no, slow run time. Whatever will we do? Tragic. Exactly. It's gonna be so much fun. Our goals for today are... Honestly, I'm not sure. Probably talk to Atelia. Probably break into the library. And see if we can get Václav to tell us more about his special heresy. I think that would be a very successful stream. But I'm sure we'll get derailed by various fun things. Because that's how this works. Right? There's so many visual influences here. There's so much fun stuff. And this is just such an enjoyable experience. I don't want to rush it too badly. An epic saunter. I like that way of phrasing it. Alright. I've gotten bored of waiting for my automated systems to do what they're supposed to. So let's just do that real quick. Might be a good idea to summarize what's happened so far for those who have missed it. That is a very good idea, this dude. So yeah, we do have more people coming in, so we're gonna, introduce me properly, my background, all that jazz as well. Cause, lots of new folks have been joining the channel in the last couple times. Hey, it's only been that's only mostly right, T-Ship. Oh well. But yeah, Pentiment has been an absolute joy, in our game. Yeah, we are, Dutch, well, we are Andreas, who is an absolute nerd, who went and studied in Flanders for a while, and is now working as an illuminator in Curaçao Abbey. And we met a visiting noble, Lawrence Rothvogel, who talked about Martin Luther, made everyone mad, and then got murdered. And we are now trying to investigate which of the very many suspects in this very small town could have possibly done this murder. However, that is our plot. The much more exciting thing is that we have had such perfect representations of the end of the Middle Ages as dream sequences involving Prester John and Socrates, Ethiopian illuminated manuscripts being distracted by very small children with hats, very small children with hats being absolutely perfect, no fewer than 4 different stories about how the town got its name, all of which seem to have something very spooky. Promises of old Roman ghosts. The acknowledgement that we've just been copying an earlier style, and our masterwork is in fact not very masterful. And otherwise, I think that's covered most of it. I'm sure I've forgotten very fun things. Oh yeah, also, just being better than Name of the Rose, and literally overwriting it, which was an incredibly bold choice of them. So, big fan. Playing this made you appreciate, modern forensics? True. What can you do apart from, he got God in the head? Oh, also there's a conspiracy involving someone who is very fancy and uses purple ink. That's something we should look into today. We should actually look into that today. At some point, remind me, and we're gonna do some research live into what sorts of materials could create purple ink in the 16th century, and see if that can give us a bit more information, because, oh boy, purple. Purple ink, exactly. But yes, mostly we're just gonna hang out, talk about some of the artistic influences that Andreas may have been working with, and having a great time at how delightful this game is. Oh, we're not plagiarizing Foxglove, we're just making a copy of a 14th century book of hours, right? We're doing a still from a 14th century book of hours as our early 16th century masterwork. And it's a very good rendition of somebody else's artistic scene. So, you know, kind of an issue. But yeah. Also, should introduce myself as we get into this. So, hello everyone, welcome to Little History. I'm Adam. I have a BA in Medieval Studies from the University of Chicago, and almost 2 master's degrees in various things of medieval history, cultural heritage, and the works. So, I also, you know, play a whole bunch of historical games, and I'm a published academic in the idea of doing historical outreach through video games. And so this video game is 100% my special interest. And so we have been having a phenomenal time with this, really trying to dig into some of the historical influences going on and delighting at how well and how aggressively bookish this video game is. So I've been having a great time. I hope you all join, hang out, stick around. If you do like this, do make sure you hit that follow button to be notified for all the other streams. You know, it's been mostly this and God of War Ragnarok, but both of those games are excellent, so we're having a fun time with those. And there will be more stuff starting, I guess, next week when we're going to go back to AC Valhalla for the final time, I promise, I swear. Please let me be free of that video game. Anyway, if you also do like this, the VOD will be on Twitch or YouTube, so do consider supporting the channel by watching through those, and consider subscribing if you enjoy this, or supporting us on Patreon. The commands are down below in the rotation. So, without further ado, why don't you say we get back into more Pentiment. It's so good. Time to get back to work. Alright, be that way, Andreas. So yeah, we had lunch with Sedat and, you know, every family in town in the Shrine of St. Moritz, where we talked about, a small bit about Ethiopian illumination and got our hat stolen. Is our hat still stolen? Oh my god. Anna has kept our hat. Well, chat, I think that's goal number 1, is to get our hat back. Because, dang it, it is unrespectable for us to be wandering around without a hat. Does it destroy your history nerd cred if you say you enjoyed Valhalla? Nah, like, the game is fun. It's just, when I had to, like, stare at it professionally for several hundred hours, it kind of wore itself out extremely quickly. But that is okay. Hello, Thomas. God be with you, Andreas. Yes. Hello, Klaus. Hooray! Town... Central Town, I believe. Schlau. Hello, Schlau. This is also very important information of that we are petting all of the kitties. Oh, hey, Lucky. Andreas. Good day, Lucky. Do you have a moment to talk? Make it quick. We're just gonna... Until then. We're not going to do that? Nah. Nah, that's a bad plan. Hey, Anna? Hey, Ulrich. God bless you. Anna! Hi. Anna, give me back my hat. Hi. Hello, Andreas. Anna! Dang it! I want my hat back. It's unrespectable for us to be wandering around hatless. How else are we supposed to pretend we're fancy despite not being? Come on. Our hat is in a better place? This is probably true. Ah, yes, Vanna. Hello, Mala. Okay, the Stoltz house is locked. That's fair. Guess it's life without a hat from now on. Apparently. Apparently we are just Hathoys. And we'll just have to deal with that. Is there a specific scribe hat? I don't believe there's a specific hat associated with scribes in this period, but there are... hats are typically, well, let's see. Headwear, 16th century. We'll see if anything shows up here. My instinct is that it's a more broad social class thing. But hey, guess what? We have a blog by a historian on this very topic. So let's fashion historians are good at their jobs. We'll trust the fashion historians. In the 16th century, headwear mattered. Not only was headwear practical and sheltered the wearer from elements, but these garments also participated in a complex system of etiquette that defined displays of status, power, and masculinity. Hat. Oh, and Ronnie Carter? Welcome. And yeah, the gift subs, if it's just randomized, it's anyone who has watched the channel recently. So, congratulations on those gift subs, and enjoy all of your emotes courtesy of our dear Wolfie, who I don't think is in chat right now, but will probably show up later. But yes. We are trying to... We have a hat like this, but basically, right, this is social status, and going around hatless is kind of a problem, because it's communicating that we are, well, that we are low status, and, broadly kinda crass. Right, it is a sign of respect to not be wearing your hat. But yeah, right, putting the hats... What we're doing with our hat is extremely performative. L plus hatless plus ratio. Exactly. Honestly, that sums it up shockingly well. So, yeah. You know, it's just generally a bad sign that we're not getting a spare hat, and that we did not recover our hat. Though, you know, we'll leave it to other historians, like Sarah Bendel, to actually know about the nuances of historical fashion, because I sure don't. That is not what I do. I do environmental stuff much more than I do fashion stuff. Litzel, we do not normally wear it in the church, anyway. The game actually does animate us taking, or does model us without a hat, when we are inside the church. It's just the rest of the time, when we're trying to be posh, we should probably have our hat on. Alright, well, our goal of getting a hat failed, so... Huh. Let's go over somewhere else. Oh, and by the way, thank you this dude for the gift sub to Gabby B, and Raptors for the gift sub to Escudo. Enjoy even more emotes. Hello, Master Mahler. I'm sorry to cause you trouble, but... Have you seen Martin recently? Uh-oh. He wasn't feeling well, so I let him sleep until prime. Uh-oh. Monastic hour during the first hour of daylight, so roughly 6 a.m. But when I came to check on him, he was gone. I saw. I did see Martin running through the meadow, but... This is a delicate situation, and I'm not sure how I should handle it. I didn't get a chance to speak with him, and I didn't know what he was up to. I could be entirely innocent, but if I told Kath I saw him fleeing the Abbey, she might think I think her son killed Lawrence. I don't want to get embroiled in their problems. Even if it was him. It doesn't strike me as the murdering type. Still. Screw you, Martin. I have no shame about throwing you under the bus. He ran through the meadow while I was on my way to the Abbey at Prime. But he said he was sick. And what was he doing in the meadow? He hardly ever goes out there. It always makes him sneeze. He seemed to be running from... Gabby, do we have a prime suspect? At the moment, I think the prime suspect is Lucky. But not... It is a prime suspect by virtue of I think everyone was in on it. I think it was a murder on the Orient Express situation where everyone was in on it and the victim 100% deserved it. So, you know. I think he ran for the Abbey. Why do you ask? He has a history of making poor decisions. Could we buy Martin's spare hat if he has fled? I like the cut of your jib, Agalias. Like, stealing? Baron Rothvogel's manservant believes Martin may have stolen some of the Lord's rings. Lord have mercy! Lord have mercy. That must be where he's gone, to sell them. Oh, Martin, how could you? Prime suspect because he wasn't in bed at Prime. True. Did you know where he's likely to have gone? The last time he ran off, it was to Innsbruck. Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know. I don't know. He could be anywhere. What if he's attacked on the road? Look, it's a suicide by cudgel to the back of the head. It's perfect. I'm sure he'll be alright. I pray to God that you are right. I'm sorry, this is not your trouble. Thank you for speaking to me. Well, is there anything else? I don't want to impose, but I want that book, Tyra. I always forget that Martin stole the Historia Tassier, and I want it. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, please let me know if you see Martin. I'm so worried for him. Thank you, Master Mahler. Be well. Hello, Brigida. I would wish you a good day, Andreas, but I fear that would be a lie. Has something happened? Martin's gone missing. Kat is beside herself. As I'm fleeing... Lord God! Martin, you couldn't have. Is it still self-defense if you defend someone else? Probably self-defense is an awfully, thorny subject in medieval law. Legal history is also not my specialization. Book history I can do. Literature I can do. Environmental history I can do. Legal history, not so much my thing. But my understanding is that, right, the discussion of, justifiable killings is much more complex, and codes of, self-defense are not super well established. So, it is tricky. He accidentally stabbed himself and then his head a bit too hard. Perfectly reasonable, exactly. Do you think Martin could have killed the bear? No, there's a strong cloud over Martin, but it rains only on him. He would never hurt someone. I can't imagine it. I mean, he's verbally abusing me, but that's fine. He has stolen from people. 2 rings and some gulden. Gulden, gold coins used as currency throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Though different standards exist for the gulden in different regions, it's generally equivalent to the Florentine florin. Oh yeah, in more modern terms, It depends on the state. It depends on where you are as to what the self-defense laws are, I believe. My god, he couldn't possibly have been so stupid. Did you see him take the rings? How do you know this? Does that matter? You are accusing my husband of murder. And he saw Martin take the rings? The Gildan? Would he swear before the Lord he saw him? You saw him standing near the guest house, and that makes him guilty? I'm beginning to wonder if you are determined to think badly of Martin. You want him to be your scapegoat. No, I promise I don't. Believe you will. I see that I cannot change your mind. I can do nothing but trust in God and my husband. Trusting in this guy is not a terrible idea, is not a good idea. Good day to you, Andreas. Okay, bye. Hi, Franz. Hey, Molly, you see my son? So I'm running for the Abbey Thursday morning, actually. That fucking rat. So because it's been a topic recently, it turns out there's a whole bunch of fanfiction and fan art about Werner. God, I saw Josh's tweet about that too. That, like, most of the shipping fanfic is all Lawrence Andreas and Werner Andreas. And why does the internet have bad taste? That layabout was asleep when I went to the fields. He told his mother he was sick. He say anything to you? Like where he was going? He told me to eat shit, actually. God damn it, how many times have I told him? Must be his mother's influence. He sure as shit didn't learn that behavior from... We should only allow good takes. See, Aleph, you are correct. If you see him again, will you tell Kat? She's driving me crazy about it. The ship should be with Václav. I'll let Kat know. Good. Until later, Mala. Until then. The ship should be with Václav, and anything else is having bad taste. Alright. I want to talk to Johan. Andreas, was just wondering when you turn up. Geigel said you'd come to watch them spin. Between you and me, Hetty's not about to let you go when she's got you in her claws. So I hope you got a few hours to hunker down and get comfortable. Let's live on his sexy, sexy heresy. Exactly. Hetty'll be glad to hear it. She's got a fondness for you, heaven knows why. Now I can't let you inside among the unmarried girls, being unmarried yourself. But you're welcome to watch through one of the windows. I understand. What a beautiful scene. Can we tell Václav that sin is stored in the teeth? True. What an excellent scene. Also, we did look this up. The fact that they're using drop spindles here is very good. This is correct. What sin being stored in the teeth? Never heard of that one before. I actually don't know the details of that. That's one of those theology takes that I know is proposed in this period and then resurfaces on the internet because everything resurfaces on the internet and then just kind of zzz. But yeah, right, I mean, it's the right sort of stupid take. I believe it's at least the right sort of take. Right, I don't actually 100% know it's legit. I remember looking this up years ago, and vaguely remember finding something. But it's the right sort of absolutely dumbass take. I mean, after all, right? One of the books on the reading list for this, Carlo Ginzburg's "The Cheese and the Worms," literally conceives of the cosmos as a brick of cheese and God as a worm moving through it. So sin being stored in the teeth is frankly tame compared to that actual take cycling around. Remember the current form, which is a meme about teeth containing sin, which is why kids are so innocent because they lose their first set of sin teeth. I like that. Right? Ah, the idiot didn't see trouble. He didn't want to jump in feet first. You don't think he's gone to Innsbruck? Oh, good. They're talking about Marden. Also, Ursula. I just wish to acknowledge Ursula. Oh, come on. Andreas. Brain cell. I know you've got them. Use them. Lord, no. Innsbruck's gotta be small time to the little shit now. You think he has something more exciting in mind? Oh, Ursula. Hi. Hi, Ursula. It's a big world. Perhaps he intends to explore it. Or escape. That Norman was just murdered up at the Abbey. Also, hang on. Chat. Oh no. Chat. I'm realizing I've made a horrible mistake. It is hidden. Okay, get back in position now, Gabe. Gabe? Please? Please. Ow. God. I think I got something in my eye, chat. God damn. It itches quite badly now. What did I do? Yep, sure did. Okay, well, hopefully that'll pass. Ow. Martin picked an awfully convenient time to run off. Oh, Lord. Andreas was friends with the nobleman. Do you think Martin could have, you know? I don't think this is appropriate for me to discuss. It's not our place to say. Martin has a nasty little habit. He's gotten better. Once a thief, always a thief, I say. Also, some of the wool has been dyed prior to spinning. Madder red and Reseda yellow, perhaps? Yeah, that makes sense. There definitely is at least a red and a yellow. Ow, god damn. Hang on, chat. I'm gonna step away for a moment to wash my eye real quick, because, ow, that itches. Don't know what's going on, but I will BRB. I'm gonna pull the thing over so you can at least enjoy the kitty while that's happening, okay? BRB. Okay, well, that's not bad. That's not better, but that is better. Uh, Also, Ursula helping is perfect. Okay. Once a thief, always a thief, or something like that. There we go. I don't think this is appropriate for me to discuss. Chad, how badly are we throwing Martin under the bus here? I mean, it's so tempting to just throw him completely under the bus, but, there we go. We didn't. This matter best left to the proper authorities. Certainly not a spinning bee. Imagine being tried by a gaggle of peasant women. Hey! Johann. That's unkind, Johann. It's the truth, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. Johann! Stop it! You're right, Johann, you're being unfair. Remind me, Andreas, whose home are we in? Oh, lay off him, Johann. Jesus. Andreas, if you're just going to stand around, how about I put you to work? No. If you're going to gossip with the girls, you might as well spin with them too. Wait! Yes! Please! Oh my god, we're doing this. How does this... How does this work? We're not trained in doing this. Draft wool from the dye staff and twist it tight, then spin the tight yarn onto the spindle. Once there's enough yarn on the spindle, collect it at the bottom and begin again. Draft, twist, spin, collect, repeat. You'll figure it out. No, so yeah, I appreciate that everyone immediately called out Johann for the misogyny. Cause, oh boy. That was something I super appreciated. Hooray! That's something I super duper appreciated with this game over The Name of the Rose. Because The Name of the Rose has a lot of latent misogyny that it never calls out. We'll talk about that more in a bit. You know, I saw Big Yorick talking to that nun again. The young one. Ha! Who can blame him? God damn it, Johann. The kitten woke up. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, that is the cutest thing. He knows she's trouble. I told him to stay away. She's very pretty, isn't she? In a mean way. Pretty perhaps, but a nun all the same. He knows better. And Ludcake, thank you for the follow just now. When has that ever stopped Big York from doing anything? We have plenty of pretty girls here in town. My Veronica's not half bad. Mom! Let's not give Andreas any ideas, eh? Hey, I am specializing in what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. Draft, draft, spin, 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 draft, 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 spin, 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 and collect. We're so good at this. Look at us go. Brigida has been spending a lot of time at her mother's house lately. Agnes is glad to have her home, and Lucky's always treated her like a daughter, but I can tell they're concerned. Aww. Are Brigida and Martin having trouble, Veronica? That's one word for it. Brigida does what she can, but nothing pleases Martin. He won't lift a finger for her or Wolf. The gender vibes of Andreas learning this skill in the face of a guy who's openly willing to shame him for associating with that? Yeah. The gender vibes are extremely... He's such an asshole. Well, that's not his business, is it? Women's work and all that. Johann! Alright, so, on the one hand, we love to hate Johann. On the other hand, this is like standard accepted social literature in the 16th century absolutely conceives of it in exactly this way. You ever seen him doing much men's work, Dad? Can't say I've ever seen him do much work at all. Perhaps Lucky can talk some sense into Martin. He's always been a devoted husband and father. Lucky's stay hour is the model of what a man should be. Oh no. Oh no. Well, it's gonna piss off the town when we accuse him of murder, huh? So anyway, right, the Name of the Rose has this thing, where no one really criticizes the, social expressions proposed. They're garbage. They're really garbage because there is one female character and she does not speak a language anyone else in the book understands. Also, there's immediately a sex scene. The second time she appears, she gets arrested, and then she gets burned at the stake off camera for being a witch. So... yeah. So, there's really no one that counteracts the misogynistic, monastic language in the thing. You can tell Umberto Eco doesn't agree with it, but, no, there's no voices that counteract that. This game, every time, a bad monastic take has cropped up, someone has immediately gone like, hey, stop it. Stop it, don't. We don't have to accept that. There are other narratives. And part of that is, right, just the theoretical shift in how we imagine the Middle Ages from 1980 to 2022. It's been 42 years. Our theoretical frameworks have expanded a little bit. Third wave feminist theory, queer theory, postmodernism, etc. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't a bad read of the available evidence in 1980 either. Anyway, let's get back to how cute these kids are. Ursula is the cutest, and Otto is now crashing our party. Everyone behaving themselves in here? Oh, it's you. Afternoon, Otto. Come to see anyone special? Hello, Otto. It's good to see you. I heard laughing from the road. I knew you all had to be up to no good in here. And look, there's Andreas. Have you been minding your manners? Well, Johan here is a real stickler for propriety. I feel incredible. I've been yoked to the wheel of propriety my entire life. Right, what was I thinking? You're probably going to take everything you hear to the abbot. As if the abbot cares what the common people think. I could be here to flirt with a young woman, you don't know that. The abbot is that bad. Well, let me be clear. The abbot is that bad. Oh, Lord. Too much time with those books, Andreas, and not enough time working. No wonder you're not married yet. We got roasted. We deserved it. We all know you work hard in the field, Johan, and no need to boast. He works hard in other places. Eddie. Mom! I love them all. You've been in town a few months, Andreas. Got any burning questions you've been meaning to ask? Oh my god. About Tassing. Oh boy. Do you see much of the monks and nuns in town? Why would we? They think they're better than us up on their fancy hill. But mostly keep to themselves, don't they? Observing the hours and all? I can hear them singing sometimes when the weather is right. It's nice. There are a couple who do their shopping in town. A fat man, very cheerful, and a serious woman with a stern face. No, you must mean Sister Matilda. She's a sweet woman. It's a shame Oh, never. Alright. Well, that's a good lead right there. Eva, shush. The fat man is kind. He always says good morning. No, that can only be Brother Voicelove. He's an alright sort. Caught a pilgrim trolling my Veronica once and set him right with the quickness. He's really strong, and he has a very loud voice. A very loud laugh, too. I wasn't aware you ladies paid such close attention. Jealous of a monk, yo, huh? Hardly. A man who's taken a vow of chastity is no threat to me. Certainly not. Good Lord. I notice you don't say much about the sister. Sister Matilda? She's pleasant enough when she comes to town. She's more friendly with Gret and Ulrich than the rest of us. Remind me who these are? Ah, bakers. How's it you know everything about everyone, Eva? I pay attention. Smart. Huh. Are you bored, Andreas? I'm bored. No more talks of monks and nuns, please. Oh, so you are jealous. Come on, Andreas. Surely you've got better questions than that. Oh yeah, no, this is 100% correct. I want to find out about the anchoress. I don't know much about her. Oh, Sister Amelie. Do you know her, Veronica? We're not dear friends or anything, but sometimes she has these fits, you know? This dude, we know Voicelove has been not very chaste in his chastity. We might blackmail him with that later. And if Father Thomas isn't there and I have time, I'll wait with her until he arrives. Since when? I didn't know anything about this. Ah, and here I thought you just adored the church building. You're so funny, Veronica. Don't make it sound weird. She's nice, and someone should be there when she's in pain, that's all. Father Thomas told me she received visions from God. She has been blessed by the Lord. I wonder if she may have arthritis. The joints swell, and it becomes painful to move. Father Thomas suggested her body was in a great deal of physical pain in addition to her spiritual pain. I like all of them a whole lot. My grandmother was similarly afflicted. It was terrible for her. God rest her soul. Madafrisa, you made it just in time. You missed us spinning. You missed us going maximum gender and being helpful. I prefer my blessings to come in the form of Gildan. She's been in Tassing for near on a decade, hasn't she? Since I was a girl, certainly. We've grown up with her, in a way. The woman in the maze. It's like something from a tale of Knight's Maze? She's trapped in a box. I don't think there's anything romantic about that. Aren't you a little know-it-all? I didn't realize you were an expert. I don't know about you girls, but I'm sick of this wool. I'm sure we've all got other chores to get to. Aw. We got our 2 questions. I'm glad to have that over with. Now I don't have to think about wool for a whole year. Aw, I was having such a nice time. I certainly learned a lot. Care for an escort home, Eva? I'd like that, yes. Ursula's so sleepy. I expect everyone will be on their best behavior going home. They always are. Johan, please. Oh, the idea of spending all your wool in one day. Look, but now we're close to done with our wool. Andreas, will I see you home for supper? You know, that might actually be useful. We might actually do that. Christ, what a chore this was. Thank you. Thanks for coming by, Andreas. Come back anytime. Unless you come on Abbey business. Don't threaten him with a good time, Johan. Investments. Alright. Hello, Hetty. Hey, Andreas, do you have supper plans? You should join us for a meal. Maybe another time. If you say so. Alright. Hi, Hans. Hi, Johan. Nope. We already said that we're gonna see other people. Hi, bees. The game's background audio is probably incredibly... Yeah. Yeah. Have we gotten any evidence of who done it while I was gone? No. But we did get more evidence as to... who is... we got more evidence as to who is the sister affected. Right, we know now it's most... We have a good hunch that it's Sister Matilda that we need to corner at some point to ask about what the hell Lawrence did to her. Also, we're just incredibly suspicious of Martin all the time. Just like on principle, we're extremely suspicious. Voislav, what the hell are you doing here? Andreas! Christ, there you are. You alright? You look terrible. Have mercy, Andreas. I ran here from Abbey as quick as I could. It's the Archdeacon. He's come early. Oh, shit! He's questioning everyone who knew the Baron and Brother Piero. I've already told him the little I know. Motherfucker! I was hoping we'd have a couple more days. He expects to speak with you tomorrow at Nono's. He requested you, specifically. Who's with him? Several men-at-arms, a gaggle of functionaries, and an execute... God damn it! Brother Piero is still alive at the moment, he's just in jail. Shit, there's 4 things... Okay. Chat? The execution is still to be found? Well, that's helpful. But... I hoped we'd have more time. Because, chat, I've been sorely tempted to make this door a conspiracy board. Just get like a fuck ton of sticky notes and red string. But we may be out of time to do that. I hope your prying has borne fruit, or Piero's neck will meet the sword. Do it? Well, we may have to do it for future acts. I'm well aware of the stakes, thank you. If only I'd had a couple more days. Whatever happens, Piero knows you've been working hard on his behalf, and he's grateful for it. Alright. Alright, chat. There's one more thing we can do, then. After dinner, we're going to go into the library. Because we're out of time. We've got to do that tonight. Only Andreas. What is it? It's just, you know as well as I do, the Baron was not a good man. I'm not saying he deserved what he got, just you think hard about what you tell the Archdeacon and who you tell him about. You understand? You don't need to worry, I found nothing that implicates you. It's not me I'm worried about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. You don't deserve that. All I'm saying is if, in your searching, you heard anything about a certain sister, I'd ask you to keep it to yourself. I'll do what I can to protect Sister Matilda. That's all I would ask you. I should return to Kiersau. The abbot will be having a fit right about now. Be well, Andreas. I will pray for Piero's deliverance tonight. You should as well. Hell. Alright, how much time do we have? Fuck. How much time do we have? We don't have much. Right, because it's... Yeah. Right, I'm trying to remember, right, time passes when we eat. But it's gonna pass from Vespers to Compline. Okay, we've got 2 time blocks left, right? We've got Compline, and we have Terche, right? So Compline needs to be... Lucky's just gone. Alright. Stay an hour. I would see if I can eat with them. Good day, Andreas. Did you need something? The problem... Yeah, Aleph, the problem is that we're in the dinner hours right now, not the work hours. That's bold of you, Andreas, considering how you've treated my husband. I was just asking questions. You are no fool, Andreas Mahler. Questions can get innocent people, innocent men, killed. You should go. Okay. We tried. We came so close. Schlau, comfort me in this failure. I mean, that was reasonable. That was extremely reasonable, but... Fuck. There are just... We may have to bully him, in Terche. Oh. God damn it. Andreas, got supper plans? Heck. So that would... Doing the library would prevent us from getting... Would eat up our terche. But I don't have any other time I can do it. Chat, should we do the library tonight, or should we just accept that the library is going to be a future problem? She's resourceful, and you're hardly unexpected. Come on, I'm starving. Rash us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. And we pray that you keep safe the soul of my dear Christine, gone these 6 years. She is missed at this table by her husband and children, but we take comfort that she will be with you in paradise. Through Christ our Lord, Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Amen! Amen. I saw that wretch of a miller this morning. The bastard had the gall to raise his hand to me in greeting. She spat at his feet. Yeah, Lenhart's a jerk. Dad? I don't know how we're going to pay the Abbey's taxes if he raises the milling fee. Got an arrangement that benefits you both? No use talking to that man, not with the bad blood between us. I could try to speak to him. He's friendly with me. Absolutely not. Yeah, Eva, don't. Don't you ever speak to him again. Shit. We have to get Otto to dig up the grave. Magistrate, so that's the other thing we have to do. We have to get Otto to dig up the grave, because if the murder weapon is, or if something that is plausibly the murder weapon is there, we can accuse Ferenc fairly safely. Ever! I'm sorry, Dad. I won't. I promise. You're going to give yourself chest pains again if you keep going on like that. It's not my chest that pains me, boy. Christ, but my back hurts. How are we going to get those fields planted in time? Yeah, alright, chat's being pretty universal on that. If we have to pick something, getting Otto to dig up the grave is our best plan. I've been picking up the slack, haven't I? We'll get by alright. You can't prefer that to the library because the suspect involved in the library is a lot less someone that you're comfortable accusing. I mean, presumably it's Matilda or, what's her face? Cecilia. Right, that presumably is the suspect attached to the library. As much as I want to get into the library because book history moments, now you've done it. Up with the sun, I'm out of the weather, out there in the muck and the elements, working my hands to goddamn splinters. Watch your heart, son. You want to leave Clara a widow? Bread, and pottage. Grave digging is more heretical than library perusal. Why don't you go see Agnes Steinauer in for a ball about your back? I don't want goddamn women's med, Peter. Dad, we have a guest. If Agnes medicine is good enough for me and Clara, I don't see why I can't help you too. I just gave a tincture for an upset stomach, that was quite helpful. If it's Agnes you got a problem with, Dad, why don't you see Dr. Schultz instead? Schultz is even worse. Charge you as much as the Miller with all the kindness of the horsemen of the plague. The pain will pass. I'll push through just as I always have. Don't do that, stubborn boy. Why don't you talk to that old soldier up at the Abbey? What was his name? Florian? Florian, yes. It's on the tip of my tongue. Ha! Since when are you so fond of the Abbey, Peter? Florian might live at the Abbey, but he's a soldier still. Only one of them worth talking to now that Father Matthias has passed. When you was there? A few months ago? You knew Father Matthias? More like Matthias made it his business to know me. Matthias, you know, he was impressed by my age. Thought it must have been blessed by the Lord. Wanted to know all about my life and the things I'd seen. Good man for a monk. Not like that new abbot. Only cares about his coffers, Gurno does. That's the Abbey for you. Do you see Otto up there much, Andreas? The Abbot keeps him busy. I had dinner with him and Andre recently. He was working on some repairs to the Abbot's house. Did anyone at the Abbey have a hello for me? Jorg? Oh, Clara, I'm only curious. Yeah, forget it. It was stupid anyway. Poor Jorg. We don't often get meals with you, Andreas. Pastor folks around town with questions like you do. You want to know anything about the town? When you lives near the forest, was she always like that? Yeah, let's ask her. Camperin. Shame what happened to her. She was never a sweet woman, you know? Even as a girl, she was surly. Well, that has its charms here. Dad, I won't have Andreas going around telling tales of your lechery. You knew her as a young woman? Hello, Stefan? Artilia? Sure did. Lived my whole life in this village, haven't I? Well, so has she. Her family has been on that land for generations, going back to, oh, her great-grandfather, I think, Diedrich. Her husband passed away not too long ago. What was his name? Rannig. He was unwell for a long time, wasn't he? He seemed to be worse every time I saw him. I had a run-in with that Rofogel bastard, he did. Argument over land or hunting. I don't know. Rannig was a good man, but he had a temper. No one could tell him no, not even a baron. Didn't matter, Rofogel. He beat Rannig so badly he never walked right again. Probably what killed him in the end. Fucking nobles. Fucking nobles. Oh, I was hoping Ursula would repeat it. Oh, it was gonna be so funny. All this shouting is making Ursula restless. Let's finish our meal in peace. Alright. Sorry, Ursula. I should get some sleep or break into the library. Exactly. I want to see if we can locate Ada real quick. Yeah, okay. Nope. I don't think we can do that tonight. Chat, do confirm to me before I go to bed. Can I get the break into the grave at night, or is that something we'll have to do in the morning? Only up morning. Thank you. Bedtime! Cause, yeah, right? We'll have to save the library for later. And pray we don't fuck up the, grave. Yep. It's getting late. I should get some rest. This would be the perfect time to sneak into the library. I know! I know. We tried. We needed one more day. I was going to do one more day. We'll have more chances to break into the library, I'm sure. The crypt isn't going anywhere. Oh shit. Yes! Wait! Never mind. Jerusalem? This is something. Hold up. It might be Plato's Republic, yeah. The other... It'll be funky. Yeah. Yeah. That is exactly what it is. Good catch. Compliment and a hail hydrate. There's the hail hydrate. By the way, chat, I have an apricot ginger tea, which is great, and I'm sad that Andreas could only have the apricot and the ginger part, and is a half century off from having the tea part. But yeah. Let me... Plato, just... City... Yeah, I mean, the compliment here is that this is a real thing. Um, right, that this... I want it to be something else, though. The best guess is that because we've had a lot of Aristotelian ideas, and Neoplatonism is a thing in this period. It's weird when we've had so much else, but from Andreas that's Neo-Aristotelian, that we're having Neoplatonism sneak its way in here. Let me see if I can locate it. Because we can locate it through Prester John. Potentially. I don't know that there's any, like, detailed renditions of his city, though. Yeah. There's not being. Finley City. Yeah. Fortunately, not... finding medieval, city maps is basically impossible online, and so we'll just have to accept it as it is, with the most likely guess that this is supposed to be, based on Plato's The Republic, and so ideas of his just city. Andreas, when are you coming home? Dad, I'll be home soon. How's business? Good, I'm finishing a commission for the Imhoffs. You can see it when you get back. And then you can show me your commissions when you open your workshop. Yes, of course. You're not going to quit this like you quit university, are you? Ha. No, of course not. Good. If it weren't for the work I did for the rector, you never would have had the opportunity. But this man has a good hat. Most people never get a second chance after they throw something away like that. I know, Dad. I know. We'll see you when you get back. Sure. All right. Okay. Sabine. Oh, it's you. I only have the picture of you, the one my brother Daniel made. I really don't have any idea what you're like. So, what are you like? Please don't imagine me telling you in your own mind. Why? You'll imagine I'm wonderful or imagine I'm horrible. Either way, it's not fair to me, is it? The real you? To none of us! Ah, fair. I'll see you soon, Andreas. For real, I mean. I suppose that's true. Alright, until then. If I run around here more, are there more conversations to be had? I can't tell if those are time-based or, like, spot-based. They must be proximity-based to the center. Let's go talk to them! Welcome back, Andreas. It has been too long since you have graced this court with your presence. Look at how good it is. So, chat, I want to show you a picture, that is at my local museum, and that might dox me a little bit, but that's fine. So, if we go over here, not this one, as it turns out. Also not that one, cause duh. There it is. So this is a painting by Jos van Cleve, a late 15th century Netherlandish piece. Of the crucifixion, obviously, but what we're seeing here is a lot of the same things as what we're seeing in the game. Oh, Sorry. Zooming is difficult. Zooming is very difficult. We're just gonna leave it be. We're seeing a lot of the same stylistic things as what we see in the game, though. Namely, right, this is an extremely medieval, April 1518 Magistressa. So this is about 1525, so this is literally 6 years later. 7 years later. Numbers are hard. I'm not a mathematician. You didn't sign up for this. But, right, in a lot of ways, this is a very typical medieval painting. Right, we have three very non-representational figures. The crucified Christ, the Virgin Mary, and St. John. We also have various memento mori figures along the bottom edge. You can't actually see my cursor, can you? Spooky. Along the bottom edge, we've got the skull and crossbones. So, a memento mori tradition, a reminder that death is universal, even for Christ. So this is, right, if you just had a flat, gilded background, this would look perfectly medieval. The figures are a bit, unusually articulated for a medieval crucifixion scene, but not unduly so. You can say this is early 15th century, and I'd believe you. But we also have the peak of Renaissance painting technology going on in the background here, with the aerial perspective, the fact that everything crunches to blue, and we've got these other figures working their way into the background, showcasing how good the artist is at linear perspective in the background. So we have this hybrid style of non-literal perspective and allegorical imagery combined with a very naturalized, super aerial perspective, go ham on it background. When we click back into the game, we see exactly the same thing. Right? Our folks, our people here are very much splatted out onto the perspective, right? They're not representative or figures that live in this environment. They are allegorical figures that are supplanted onto it. But look in the background around Pastor John. Look at how blue it is. Look at how much blue there is. And really strong linear perspective working your way back onto Prester John. And so that is that is perfectly within this period, according to, real art pieces. There's a little bit of stylization work in, the animation work, but they understand the style really precisely and are copying it, and that feels real good. Anyway, what manner of tragedy? The murder of a nobleman, a close friend of the Prince Bishop of Freising. My friend, Brother Piero, is the abbot's only suspect. I know that he could not have done it. You were in a museum last week that covered the same period as this game, and the streams made the paintings way more interesting to me. Oh, that's lovely to hear. This is I've had so much fun digging into this period to get ready for these streams. Because, I don't know, my training is 13th and 14th century. That is where, my specialization is. And so but digging into this period has made me really like early modernity, and I feel a little bit bad about it. Due to nonsense bullshit academic rivalries, I feel this tiny bit bad that I'm enjoying early modernity, or right on this borderline of early modernity, so much. How do you know, my son? Examine your assumptions, my son. In addition to having no motive and violence not being part of his character, he's not physically capable of the act. He is of limited strength and has a palsy in his hand that makes holding a paintbrush difficult. It is inconceivable that he would have the strength and resolve to kill the Baron with a blow to the head. Hey, at least it's not 19th century. True. A whole lot of inconceivable shit happens on this hell of an earth, Andreas. I believe it is extremely improbable. So what do you intend to do about it? When I'm brought before the Archdeacon, I'm telling what I know about other people who had motives to kill the Baron. I have to believe he'll see there are much more likely suspects than Piero. Yeah, Tyra. You can see it in his animation. His character model has a hand that sits like this due to the palsy. Why have you taken this task upon yourself? Your love for and devotion to him speak well of your character. A man who is humble before his elders honors also his gods. Of course you'd say that, old man. He is right, though. If Andreas doesn't help him, no one will. Exactly. I understand why the brothers and sisters cannot act against the abbot, but I must do something. Why does that shit for brains abbot care about the death of a useless fart like Lawrence Rothvogel anyway? Question, was Prester John based on any actual person from history? Probably not. He's complicated, right? So, he is assigned, right, he kind of gets supplanted onto, like, a series of real people, in that, right, as Prester John gets more and more locked into being Ethiopian, in the late Middle Ages and early modernity, right, the entire Solomonic dynasty of Ethiopia gets kind of compressed in the European literary imagination into Prester John. And that's super cool insofar as it reflects just how powerful they imagined Ethiopia was, and how powerful Ethiopia actually was in this very late Middle Ages. So it's, right, there's a lot of, like, really entangling political networks that go on kind of behind Prester John, but right, he's first described in, like, super early, right? Like, let me get the exact number here. Wikipedia is very useful for things like this. Yeah, okay, he gets, let's see, yeah, looks like early 12th century. Yeah, early 12th century, recorded in Ottawa Freising's Chronicon in 1145. But that just says he's kind of vaguely to the east. And then he slowly gets pulled farther as, like, trade with Ethiopia increases, political negotiations with Ethiopia increase, the sort of popular imagination pulls farther and farther in to Prester John being Ethiopian. And so, right, it entangles really interestingly, but in terms of him strictly being real, absolutely not. He's incredibly long-lived, incredibly powerful figure that is the good Christian who will come in at the last moment and save everyone in that. Yeah. So, yeah. Powerful people get upset when other powerful people are murdered. This goes around the existence of the Abbey. Oh no, the Abbey. Who gives a damn about those hypocritical assholes? Are you saying that early mid-Solomonic Abyssinia was not an utterly powerful empire that could go toe-to-toe with anyone else in the world? I don't know. In any case, Andrea's ability to prevent Piero's death depends on the judgment of the Archdeacon. Wise or foolish, corrupt or just, the Archdeacon will be the first and possibly final arbiter of Piero's guilt. He shouldn't be the final. If everything is working according to kosher, he should not be the final arbiter. This is effectively final, but not actually final. Andreas must win the Archdeacon to his side using the tools favored by men such as him. Reason? Ha! When's the last time you met a man who is truly ruled by reason? Authority? Despite your talent, you are merely an artist. He has been invested with power by the Bishop of Freising. You have no authority with him. Wisdom? Wisdom can be shared, but the audience may not comprehend it. Honesty? Now, you must be honest in all things, Andreas. Many are not willing to accept the truth. And the cost of honesty can be high. If reason, wisdom, authority, and honesty cannot triumph, then what am I left with? Hope. Lies. Truth. Above all, faith in Providence. Well, what do you plan to tell the Archdeacon, Andreas? There were other people in Curacao and Tassing who had motives to kill the Baron. The widow Kemperin despised Lawrence for maiming her late husband. Maimed? How? The Baron beat him savagely following an argument about trespassing on the Kemper's farm. His injuries were so severe that they never truly healed, and he needed a cane to walk. He died less than a year ago. Attilia is certain it's because of the wounds he received that day. Why did the two quarrel? My understanding is that it was simply an argument about trespass that got out of hand. And now I suppose she will lose their home. My apologies. His home. For what reason? Should an aged widow not live out her remaining days in peace? Nope. She should, but she won't. She didn't squeeze out any little Kempers for old ratting, so away the house goes. Yes, because women must fight to own property. We exist on the sufferance of men. Based Andreas? Based Andreas. Good. Perhaps if more men understood our just anger, the laws would change. A good man does not sit idly by while injustice flourishes around it. What the hell is a half-trained artist with half a university degree going to do against the might of the Holy Roman Empire? Idiots. The largest and most powerful European state... Let's put a pin in that word there. In its time, the Holy Roman Empire was made up of many peoples and suffered from much internal strife during the Reformation, despite Emperor Maximilian's firm hand over the land. Maximilian's about to die. Now, Maximilian has been in charge of this for a long time. Maximilian the Second. Holy Roman Emperor. Let's see. Yeah, Maximilian the First. 22nd of March, 1459 to 12th January, 1519. So yeah, he died at the age of 60, but was king of the Romans from 1486, and Holy Roman Emperor from 1508. So, you know, he ruled as the territory of the Holy Roman Empire for 33 years. Which is an insanely long time. But he will be succeeded by, his successor, I believe, is Charles V, isn't it? Yeah. His successor is going to be Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor and King of Spain. Which is also bonkers, because he's going to rule until 1556. Between the two of them, it's straight up 70 years? 70 years of Habsburg rule in two people. So, you know, that's spooky. But yeah, state formation is complicated. I would not... This is around the period where I think it starts to make even a slight bit of sense to describe European states. 16th century, 17th century is when I really think it starts making more sense as things continue to centralize. But 16th century, I can at least see an argument. Framing a medieval kingdom, though, as a state, ultimately dubious. You have established a motive for the widow, Andreas, but there is another matter that requires inquiry. While women and men are equal in most natures, women are weaker in strength. Thank you, Socrates. You're speaking with the voice of Aristotle. How could a woman of Attilia's age overpower a healthy man like the Baron? I wondered that myself. Have you found anything that she could have used to kill the Baron? No, not yet. Polity. I like polity. I also like kingdom. because it is a kingdom. But as a general term, polity makes fine. Uh, what's the distinction? State implies a level of bureaucratization and centralized power to kind of control the geographic bounds of that state. Right? In other words, it's a fundamentally administrative unit that coincides with territory. That just doesn't reflect the way the deeply interpersonal way that vassalage and fiefage works in this period. So polity is more generic to just indicate sort of a geographic area that vaguely self-identifies and has a coherent, a consistent government. But right, the Holy Roman Empire, or France, or England, or Ethiopia, are very interpersonal, or the Ottoman Empire, are very interpersonal states that are administrated by personal relationships and personal guarantees rather than a systematized bureaucracy. And so it's pretty late. And especially with the Holy Roman Empire, that doesn't make sense. Because the King of the Germans is. While the title of King of the Germans and the title of Holy Roman Emperor are two different titles that are coordinated at two different times, they're in the same geographic area, mostly, sort of. That's spooky. Shocking that, Riley. If you wish to convince the Archdeacon that an old woman killed the Baron, you'll need more than just a motive. Are there any others you suspect? Friar Fearing feared the Baron would report his occult interest to inquisitors. How so? Friar Fearing and the Baron shared a fascination with the occult texts. The Baron was pressuring the Prior into performing a ritual for him while he was visiting Curacao. When Fearing refused, the Baron threatened to turn him into the Inquisition. How did you come by this knowledge? I found written evidence, a letter from Fearing to the Baron in which he discusses all of these matters. It is a very dangerous thing, a monk dabbling in the occult. His very soul could be in danger. Thank you, Prester John. That stopped so many monks. It stopped non-monks. Forget the soul. He could have been defrocked, excommunicated, even killed. All for a little curiosity. Better to say stupid and ignorant. That's what I say. We're well aware. Oh no. All this worry over dangerous books are in the University of Paris. It shouldn't even be an issue out here. There's great power in magical books, but it's power that can be used. Most of them are heartless nonsense. Be wizard. Be wizard. Wizard Spoderman. Hey, Spoderman. Hello. Goodbye. That is not the position of the Church, who views these matters suspiciously in the best of circumstances. Prior Fearing feared loss of his status, his life, and even God's grace. May have killed for less. How might the Prior have accomplished the deed? I'm not certain. I haven't found anything that I think he could have used as a weapon. It will be a challenge to convince the Archdeacon that a Prior committed a murder this foul. If you mean to suggest that Fearing is a suspect, you must find a weapon to convince the Archdeacon. Are there any others you suspect? I've found no other suspects. You have brought a worthy mystery before this court, Andreas. I pray to God we have granted you the insight you need to face the coming challenge. Thank you, Your Majesty. I am prepared to meet the day. Before you go, Andreas, there is one more thing to consider. You will be summoned to the Archdeacon to tell him what you know, but you need not tell him everything. I think I understand. There is a place for a noble lie. This is not one of them. Why? The Baron is dead. All the people with motive to kill him suffered, either directly or indirectly, from his wickedness. Simply mentioning a name to the Archdeacon may endanger them, whether they had anything to do with the murder or not. Right. No point throwing everyone waist deep into shit, haha. I protest any attempt at deception, but you must ultimately follow your own conscience, Andreas. Little time remains before you must stand before the Archdeacon. Use it wisely. Until we meet again, Andreas, God be with you. And also with you, Your Majesty. Yay, lying! We've got... Prime. We've got 1 day left, or 1 time block left. Ursula, give us strength. Alright. Fuck. Ooh, pelican. Did the pelican go away? The pelican went away. Boo! Tragedy. Tragedy of tragedies. Exhumation how? Exactly. Oh no, I've got... Where'd the bear in front of yours was killed up at the Abbey? Memento, Brother Piero. One of the elder brothers, isn't he? Might have met him while I was replacing the scriptorium roof. Seemed in all right sort for a monk. Sorry to hear it. Anyway, did you need something? Otherwise I got things to do. Well done. What's your problem with Lawrence? You treated Lucky terribly, and Lucky is a good man. That, I think, is reason enough. But it's not my place to discuss Lucky's troubles with you. If you want to know more, ask him yourself. I don't think he cares for me. Ha! Sounds like Lucky. Anyway, do you think you can help me take up a grave at the Abbey? You think there's something in there that'll prove the old brother's innocent, right? That's it. You're perceptive, Otto. Nah, I only listen when people talk. You should try it. Wow! We got fucking rolled. Did you talk to the abbot about this mischief? When do I get my grubby hands all over his stuff without his permission? Just... savage. How badly are we screwing over Otto? We need answers. We need the information. Truth. Chat. If we screw this up, we can try and throw Attilia. If we screw this up, we can try and throw Attilia under the bus. Ha! And you still want me to do it? Sure, why not? It'll take a few hours though, especially if I'm digging alone. Fuck. Chat. I think... Let's go right away? Yeah. Fine, I'll grab my tools. I was gonna try and talk to everybody, but I was done. So, town carpenter, what's that like? Exhausting. Not unlike this here. That's fine too, to make things with my hands, to feel the sun on my neck and tap under my fingers. And I haven't fallen off a roof yet, so well, I can't complain. You like carpenter and task? Busies won't work. One word for it, overwork's another. It was earlier, my dad and I could do the work together, but since his stroke, yeah, it is what it is. Did he see a doctor? Perhaps something can be done. Dr. Stolz took a look at him. He said there was nothing to be done. Made it seem like we were wasting his time. It was a few years ago when my dad doesn't trust a doctor as far as he can throw him. But, thanks. Anyway, the word gets me talking to everyone in town, so I hear all about what's troubling people. Many people in Tassing are struggling, Andreas. The peasants especially. Just mentioned Clara Gertnerin. They used to be able to pay a portion of their taxes in crops, but the abbot put an end to that. Now if they get a bad price from Miller, they don't have enough to pay the abbey. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The abbot might own the land, but he doesn't work it. He just reaps the benefits of others' effort. Based class consciousness coming out of this game. But it's not just him. The law, imperial law, that's what gives him the power. So maybe the laws have to change. I had no idea it was so bad. My family are all artists. You're from Nuremberg, right? Well away from the peasants' problems. I'd be surprised if you did, though. Good thing you came to Tassing. You can get a real education in how the world works. Anyway, I should get back to digging. It's going to take a while. This is all on my own. Are we gonna... Oh, wait, what? Oh, Father Matthias is here. Or the wooden headstone, too. But it's supposed to be worse for the abbey than I thought. Shouldn't abbots be buried with more marble? The rest of the abbots are in the crypt or under the church. I took a look at them while inspecting the foundations with Andre. Carousel's built on top of an old Roman fort. Not cheap to maintain by any means. Still, I'm surprised though. I heard the abbot and the prior arguing back when I repaired the scriptorium roof. Whatever problems Carousel's having, they've been going on a while. Refax, I do not have a PhD. I have a master's in medieval Norse studies, and I have a almost done with a master's in cultural heritage. And after that, I might be going back in for a PhD. Not decided yet. Mother Brunhilda Abbotissa? I doubt anyone's in that one. Given the age, I guess she's long been moved to the Abbey Crypt by now. That reminds me, they just mentioned moving bones to an osarium. I mean, right, medieval, there's not a whole ton of history lesson to be had here, though ossuaries are delightful. Right, ultimately, it's a practical problem. We have limited space in our graveyards, and a lot of people dying. And you gotta bury them all in the graveyard, because, obviously, that's part of Christian doctrine and how the rituals of the funeral go. But, you end up with a practical problem where you can only stack the boxes so deep before a flood comes through and you end up with bones everywhere. So, you gotta solve the practical problem, and most places solve it with catacombs or ossuaries. Either way, just a place underground where you can just kind of put all the bones. And you can just scrunch them all up together on the walls. We're still working towards the game The Doctor Streamer. I see. Whenever twitch.tv/streaming the past, or I think it's streaming the past, is on, Dr. Angus Mole sometimes streams there, so that will give you a Doctor Streamer. You're worried Father Garneau might try and punish us for this? God willing, we'll be done before he finds out about it. So you want me to speed it up? Sure, what do you care about my back? Christ. Yeah, this doesn't make him a very friendly, does it? Jachet Frater Jacobus. Brother Jacob from Köln. Did you ever meet him? We spoke a couple times. He was a funny man, just about the only one of the monks with a sense of humor. Just sorry tree about the presence of gravestones being anachronistic compromise? Nah. The design of some of these gravestones specifically, I could see, But I don't know. There's darling modern graveyards. Hang on. We're gonna need to take a quick look at that. Monastic gravestones, 16th century. Ah. I mean, there's... I mean, right, Joe, they did a lot of work in this game. I'm tempted to at least somewhat believe them, but... Like, there are... Let's see. And obviously there's a lot of local variation, right? But... Right, there are at least grave markers. They maybe don't look quite like this, because, you know, you end up... This is based more on, like, American style of gravestones. Or later, like, 18th, early 19th century ones. Right, either way, right, kind of pulls in different directions. But, this is... There are... at least flat gravestones in this period. That'd show up in the graveyards. So, yeah. Right, I'm not distressed by the fact that there are vertical gravestones. I think, broadly speaking, flat gravestones are probably more common. But, I mean, as far as it goes, you need a graveyard, it's gotta look like a graveyard. Our idea of graveyards are largely late 17th and 18th century developments, with a lot of styles being very particular to New England. Right, a lot of, like, the winged death's heads are a New England phenomenon. So, yeah. Some of them aren't so bad. Piero especially knows how to laugh. If you say so. Yakob had the gift for manipulating his features and his voice to imitate the other monks. A man like that is wasted at an abbey. Oh, Matthew. Shit. Sure, the angry monk coming this way? Nah, hell, we're destined for an earful. Shit. Matthew's not going to like this. I could hide, but that'd be putting Otto in a tough spot. Not gonna be happy with me if I have to deal with Matthew on his own. But this could be the clue that unlocks the truth about who killed Lawrence. There's a little trouble if it saves an innocent man's life. Ah, hell. Hi, Matthew. Is all well here? We're digging up a grave. How are you? Why? Just, Otto, keep doing your thing. Why would it not be? Why have you coerced the carpenter into digging up the late brother Gerhard? The fact is connected with the Baron's murder. That is curious, if you're telling the truth. Even so, Brother Gerhard's grave is not your concern. You are not a member of this community, Andreas. Yeah, well. The abbot gave us permission. The rest is not your business. As the circuitor, it's my duty to prevent mischief. The monk responsible for making the rounds of the abbey to make certain everyone is where they're supposed to be doing what they are supposed to do. To prevent mischief such as this. We don't have a hat, Andreas. You seem to have lost your hat, Andreas, and with it any common sense you possess. That's fair. Master Zimmerman, please clean up this mess. I'm going to speak with the abbot about this immediately. Just finish the job. Is that gonna cause problems for you? Look, don't worry about it. You got convictions after all, huh? I can't believe the hat came back to haunt us. It's hysterical. Well, back to digging. Look, we'll deal with it. Monument to the founder of the abbey. Blah, 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 blah. I want to see more gravestones. Vindabana? Bibliothecaria? Systemaria the librarian. Probably before your time. I was a boy when she passed. My father spoke well of her, though. She said she reminded him of his own grandmother. Sweet woman who loved the Lord. I expect the abbot will have her dug up soon. Ah, for the crypt. A ghoulish tradition, I've always thought. What's dead should remain buried. But then, they don't have much space here, and many of the monks aren't long for death themselves. So... Well, I've reached the body, but... What? Is something wrong with it? Looks fine enough, decay notwithstanding, but someone stuffed a sack up under his ribs. Ugh! Good God. Let me see. Now, arcane tools. They could serve no other purpose. Tools? What do you mean? What would you use these for? Magic. Two are emblazoned with precious metals engraved, a silver chased rod and a golden plate. The rod has symbols of the zodiac on it. The plate has some script I don't recognize. It's freaking... Isn't it one of the, like, nonsense pseudo-angelics? Or, like, Solomonic script or something? I vaguely recognize this. Gabby B, the blue and green are just for emphasis. So, right, blue is, like, a really emphasized word. I think green is just a different level of emphasis. Outfit of the Magi. Yeah, that looks right. Enochian. That's the word I was looking for. And a knife. Seems ordinary enough, but together with the other two buried here. Why would someone bury them here, together? Because they're forbidden? Wait, there's blood on some of the symbols of this rod. Dry, to be certain, but not that old. Fairy tried cleaning this, but wasn't able to remove all the blood. Could this be what was used to kill Lawrence? Who buried this here, anyway? Can't say, but it may be connected to the Baron's murder. What? None of this makes any sense. What's going on here, Andreas? Enochian is John Dee, so that's later. That's 17th century. But yeah. He is quite a dude. That's one way to put it. Oh, and General Steve. Welcome, Raiders. That's a lot of people. Hello. Steve Raid. Steve, have you been playing this game? This game freaking rules. Hello, all you Raiders. My name is Adam. Welcome to Ludo History. I have degrees in medieval studies. And we are playing Pentiment, which is my perfect game. Look. It is a game where at any point you can access this beautiful marginalia involving developers' pets and a dumbass pelican. And what's not to love about that? And thank you for the 100 bits, Racer Bob. What's going on here, Andreas? That's what I need to figure out. Thank you for your help. So, the short of this game, for everyone who just came in, is that an absolute goddamn horrible person, Baron Lawrence Rothvogel, was murdered here in Kirsau Monastery in the Duchy of, or in the region of Bavaria, in the Holy Roman Empire, in April 1518. We are an artist from Nuremberg who is investigating it, and we are about to meet with the Archdeacon to accuse somebody of doing this murder. It's good. And Chad is helping with research, so regarding the form of gravestones around this time in Nuremberg, one of the cemeteries there gives info about them being plain and rectangular and of a normed size. So, in other words, these very U-shaped, very modern gravestones, are more modern, which is what I would expect, of 17th or early 18th century, but that's also fine. I'm not bothered. Right? There's one for the nitpick chart, but as far as it goes, right, these little square ones, they're fine. The flat ones, they're also fine. But yes, welcome everyone. I hope you stick around, hope you enjoy. Hang out and chat, say hi. I live in New England, but I have went to school in Chicago and Reykjavik. Alright, well, chat, we have one more meal. I was thinking we're going to accuse Frank because we don't like him. Thing is, am I a Bulls fan? I am not a Bulls fan. It is dangerous to be a Bulls fan in New England. You have to learn. You have to learn to not be a Bulls fan when you're living in New England. Because I was at an antiquarian. Literally, I was at an antiquarian book festival the week this game came out. Got a lovely brochure with some beautiful examples of period art. Actually, the one that I was covering, that one, is from about 20 years before this game is set. So, you know, that's pretty fun. And someone saw my jacket, which had my university's logo on it, and asked if I was a Bulls fan in a very disparaging way. Refax? Yes, it should be. I sometimes say Rotvogel, but more often my Northern Germanic is getting in the way. And my North Germanic languages are getting in the way, and I look at the TH, and I replace it with a thorn, and I pronounce it like it has a thorn in it. General Steve, that's fair. I didn't really want to beat Boston's ass twice this year. Yeah, that would be a spicy thing right there. Oh boy. You live in Denmark. Denmark is lovely. I've briefly got to study in Aarhus, and it is lovely. Let's meet our friends in the animal pens. No? No one in the animal pens? The sheep are in the animal pens, like they should be. And they're good. Steve, I like the way you think. Just remove all expectations of joy and you'll never be disappointed. Easy peasy. I mean, that's true. But you know, look, I was in Chicago in 2016 when the Cubs won. Just so we're clear in terms of what happens when you remove all expectations of joy in our life. You end up in Chicago in 2016 when the Cubs start being good. And then there's fully riots. All the time. There's someone new with Smokey and Václav? Well, I mean, we've got to go meet our boy, Smokey and Václav. Václav, where are you at? Oh, hell. Who are you? Richard. Who is this? Who are you? What? Huh, I haven't seen you around before. Who are you? He's not poor, that's for sure. I was fucking wild during the 16 baseball season. Exactly. It's the executioner. Oh. Well, he's got a good codpiece. Look at the... He's got a very lovely hose, and a codpiece, and little poofed interslice... Looks like his sleeves are stitched, and then he's got another shirt pulled through them, which is peak fashion. The executioner. Got a problem? Name's Richard, if you care to know. Andreas Mahler. Right. What do you want? That was... You just realized how little you know about the medieval era. It is a bonkers fun time, Filthy Fergus. And it is the period I've spent the last 8 years of my life specializing in, so I've learned a couple things on the way. This is a good time period. We appreciate the lurking and learning. But do feel free to, like, hang out, post memes, all that stuff. We're happy to have you here. And if you haven't yet, do make sure you hit that follow button to be notified for all the future hangouts. Oh, you only saw the Ganrabu. The Ganrabu is so much fun. Just say hello. How charitable of you. Most folk won't be seen talking to an executioner. Understandable. People fear anything associated with death. I'm no philosopher, but I think it's the sword. Oh, that's fair. He doesn't have a hat. This is true. Lace ruffles are not so much a thing quite yet, but he doesn't have a hat, and that's a problem. Does it ever bother you seeing people shout for another's death? Why should it? Besides, few pints and I forget their faces anyway. God, I could use a drink. I'll leave you to it then? Have I been in Denmark? Yeah. I lived in Aarhus for 3 months. And then actually just this summer, I got to go back there and visit again. Hey, Master Mahler. Well, I can't get more spicy heresy. Dang it, Václav! Václav, I want more spicy heresy. Give me my spice. Is this guy based on that executioner's diary? Maybe. We'll need to get more details about him in order to actually identify whether he is. But definitely maybe. Alright. I want to meet Lady Salamea. This is the person we haven't seen yet. Oh god, Razor Bob, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifty subs. Yeah, I mean, feel free to hang out in the Discord. And if you art history is less than the most familiar with, despite my overlay being all actual medieval marginalia. But yeah, definitely feel free. Like, you can just click on that link there to join us. We've got people who specialize in that stuff. My Discord server is great because there's people who specialize in all sorts of things, including art history and stuff. And this dude with the gift to Filthy Fergus. Gosh, Salamea's clothes are so pretty! Exactly! And would you care to share dinner at my table? I should like to talk to you about my late husband. Please! Please, we haven't talked to her yet. Also, this is the best dog. He's so beardy. Bless us, oh Lord. Oh Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Why does she have, like, just like basic scribe script? I would have expected her to have the assumption to have her be that she's more highly educated than that. Okay. Amen. I find myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mahler. You've been collecting so much art of clothing from these arrows? Amazing. Also, by the way, chat, you get free good history comments. The food history you could do in this game is freaking brilliant. I really want to talk with folks about how they did the food history. Stay tuned for maybe getting someone on in a couple weeks. We're still working on that, but we'll find out. But the food history you could do is so fun. Chicken, Gaia hen, pheasant? We'll find out. I must admit, I'm surprised you wish to speak with me. Lorenz did not make friends easily. He was a strong-headed man with staunch beliefs he didn't shrink to share. Yeah, I noticed. They bring you up Martin Luther in a Catholic abbey. A conservative abbey at that. Was... Quail. it is quail. And Emmental. Ah. Like, there's so much. And the wine with the imported glass. And the desserts over here. What are those desserts? Maybe... I can't tell if they're pastries with candied rose petals. There's definitely candied rose petals on those, but I don't know what else is on there. I hate to be a one-note conniving social climber, but I have to say having dinner with a baroness is probably also good for our career. True. Was Lutheranism already committed schismatic heresy in 1518? No. It was declared schismatic heresy in 1519. It's just merely spicy. Right, definitely unpopular, definitely trending towards people knew it was bad news, but not technically officially a heresy. Baked apples? Maybe. They could be baked apples, they could be imported oranges, or they could be some kind of pastry, it's hard to tell. 1521, at the Diet of Worms? Well, for the formal declaration? You might be right, 1521 might be right. Could be apricots as well. True. There's so many good options. Exactly. We're already like 100 years into the Hussites getting in trouble over in Bohemia and Moravia. So, that's fine. Also, wheat bread, not rye. When I was told he'd found some manner of friendship with an artist, well, I was curious. It comforts me to know we found fellowship here at this most unusual abbey. Not that there is much comfort to be found in these cold and dreary alpine towns. Aw, Popo! Lorenz and I had meant to take a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but oh, shit. Well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mahler? Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mahler? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lawrence became fast... Oh! Christ! I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Wow! Wow! Both of these are incredibly oblivious. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. Nerd option! Nerd option! His lust for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lorenz was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me. But are we not all flawed before Christ? Wow! Yank. I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. Well, we should go to the Archdeacon and say even his wife isn't bummed, let's just call this one a freebie. True. I only hope his appetites were not what led him to this end. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. He slipped. Convenient puddle. Were you and Lawrence so close that you would trouble yourself so? My motivation is personal. My mentor, Brother Piero. Wow, let's be honest with her. What's the worst that could happen? If not him, then who? I don't wish to out of turn. I see. Well, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that my husband made his share of enemies. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is perhaps more conservative. Father Matthias was Matthias, I should say, was an open-minded man, from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Gerner doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy. I understand. Syphilis is cool, though. True, he also had syphilis. Salamea, did he tell you he had syphilis? Just on that note, I do have half of a medical degree. I didn't drop out of school for nothing. Did you know he had syphilis? If you didn't, oops. I wonder what you'll make of Lawrence's gift to the Abbey. No, I'm not sure so. You say, I hope she's getting treatment, but given that treatment was, drink mercury, I don't know that I wish that upon her either. Kind of no good solutions for this one. Again, the treatment is mercury. So, I mean, the treatment didn't exactly do a lot. I don't know the details, Gabby. Frankly, I'm not going to look up the treatment. The point is, mercury. Mercury is deeply involved. In the 1800s, they had a treatment for late-stage syphilis, which is get malaria. What gift was this? It seemed to be a little thing, of more interest and value to my husband and the former abbot than Father Gerno. It's the book. It's the story of Tassia. Bro, you must get to bed. General Steve, have a good night. It's lovely as always to see you. He found a book about the history of Tassing. I believed it contained some scandalous details. He said to corroborate fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Was the appearance of the book peculiar or noteworthy in any way? It was neither large nor small, bound in blue leather. Unfortunately, I never examined it closely. My apologies. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. If God wills it. Do you plan to stay in Tassing long? Only so long as it takes the Archdeacon to investigate my husband's murder. So today, though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I'm in no hurry to return. I shouldn't... I see a glimmer now of what Lawrence saw in you. You are a disarming man, Master Mahler, and much too easy to talk to. Yeah! To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in... Boo! May be in jeopardy. Lawrence and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. This is a very good point. Being a widow with a noble title in the later Middle Ages is an extremely fraught position, and there are women who thrive in that position throughout the Middle Ages. There are women who absolutely thrive in that position, but there's also a lot of people who get immediately and completely screwed over with the local magistrate or local authority. In this case, probably the Archbishop of Mainz, I think, is the relevant figure. Or the closest other duke. Kind of just step in and say, nope, you're out, you're no use to us anymore, we're replacing you with someone with better personal trials to me. And so, the big thing that needs to happen here is, basically, if there are any professional relationships, political relationships, or personal relationships that Salamea can draw on, she needs to call in all of the favors right now to help secure her position. Well, the justice we should advocate for is that prosecuting whoever killed the Baron. The Archdeacon just helps out the Baroness with her claim. Exactly. Exactly. When you're in a difficult position, my lady, I will pray for your happiness. As will I, Master Muller. I am sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Muller. Also, her outfit is so good. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. And chat. We're gonna pet Furchen because we need him. What a phenomenal papa. Oh, look at the little paw step. We're gonna pet him again. Look at his little tippity tap paws. He does a little tippy tap. And chat, pray for us. We can throw Farag under the bus. Oh yeah, we can talk to everybody now. Phenomenal. Let's talk to everybody now. Ah! Paul, give us strength. Lenhart. Paul. Paul! Oh, hello again. Hi, Paul. It's good to see you at home. Uh-huh. Where's your home? You're not fantastic. I remember. Clayburn, thank you for the follow, my friend. I live in Nuremberg, but I'm staying with the Gertners for a while. Oh, but you're not a farmer. Why are you living with the farmers? They're letting me board with them while I work in the Abbey scriptorium. You're a monk? I'm an artist. Oh, like you do drawings? Drawing, painting, calligraphy. If it goes in a book, I can put it there. Oh, is that... Wait, we've had this conversation before. How do you get money? What? The Abbey pays me, of course. Art's a job, just like being a miller's a job. But it's also a calling. I didn't... My dad says... We did have this convo. My dad says drawing's stupid. It's not worth anything. Your dad's wrong. Not where you can hear. Do you like to draw, Paul? Yes! More than anything, but I have to do it where Dad can't see. He gets mad. I'm sorry to hear that. Never bad to reassure Paul about his art hobby twice. Exactly. Can I tell you a secret? Sure. Sometimes I draw on the ruins in the meadow where Dad can't see. What do you draw? Cats, Mom, I don't know, stuff. Probably shouldn't be talking to you. Dad won't like it. You're probably right. I'll go. Till later, Paul. Hey, keep trying, alright? I will. Bye. Paul is apprentice shape. And Staub is petable. What a good puppy. Glass windows, blah blah blah. Elsa. Let's go look at the Roman ruins. The other thing, because there is something I wanted to check in the Roman ruins too, I remember. There's something spooky here. Collapse. This must have had access to the aqueduct. Right. There is something spooky going on with this that we didn't get to figure out. And that is, who is the ghost? Who is the ghost? That we saw on the Roman ruins. Because 2 people saw him, and that means that there's an issue. God be with you, Andreas. Yes, yes, yes. Klaus, help me. Hello, Andreas. Bert. God, my favorite animation here. Flop and skibunk. Andreas, what brings you to the shop? Can I fix you something? You know I love your cooking, Marie, but perhaps another time. Don't keep me waiting, Andreas, until later. Okay, bye. Bert. Yes! Oh! He's playing with chicks! Hi, Andreas! Hi. Hi. Bert, my beloved. Bert is perfect. We love him. Babies. The baby birdies. Alright, chat. How badly do we ruin How badly do we ruin our friendship with Lucky? Not that we had a friendship, but how badly do we do this? Make it quick. Let's not. Chat doesn't want to bug him about this? That's reasonable. Chat still doesn't want to bug him about this. Yeah, we do need to talk to... We do need to talk to Farink as well. Just to see how guilty he fucking gets. Heck. I want to know the truth, but I also feel like he's maybe a decent guy. Oh yeah, I think he's absolutely a decent... absolutely a decent guy. Just, this is a rough situation. And unfortunately, being a decent guy doesn't mean you didn't do the murder, because, you know, he's so bad. Hello. Good day. Andreas. Also, we haven't even, like, talked to Attilia yet. We can't do anything with Attilia, but we can at least say hello. You want something? Alright, well, turns out no we can't. Let's play Ranig's cane. Strong, sturdy, and here, the head is broken off. What's the reason? Because you used the cane? Attilia, your husband's cane is broken. Do you remember how that happened? How should I know? Everything in here is broken and falling apart. The head broke off at some point. I don't remember how. Alright. Pah! Look, it's absolutely a just killing. I think it's time to throw Farink under the bus. Yeah, I'm feeling... Cane seems like a good bludgeoning weapon, doesn't it? But there's no blood on it. None noticeable, anyway. Although hopefully they didn't get into too much trouble. Also, there was a nitpick redeemed from Shadow Reaper 50. You know, it's not super sure, because honestly there's so little available to nitpick, right? Like, there's incredibly small things, like, the amount of, I don't know, the design of the gravestones? Right? Something like that, is pretty much the scope of nitpick we're looking at here. But if I had to pick something, the lack of cod pieces? Yeah. That's fair. If I had to pick something, it's that right, I love the style of this game, but it kind of flattens the quantity, like, variability of styles happening in this period to this sort of vague late medieval, right? The Rocket Cat is 16th century, some of this other stuff is a little bit earlier, and then the style here is very woodblock and gravy. That's not the only, like, style of art going on in the period. Right, I showed the one from a little bit... Right, a little bit earlier I showed that crucifixion scene from the early part, about 1525, I believe. Let me check this one. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to show. Another relevant photograph, as I zoom in way too far. Zoom in a little less, please. That'll do it. The quality of the photo was not particularly good, but this is from the middle of the 16th century. Right, this is like 1540s. And obviously this is portraiture, not manuscript illumination or engraving work. But Like, the amount of style possible here, and the amount of pantaloons are phenomenal. Uh, I don't mind a small non-story spoiler if it's relevant to this Aleph. I hope we're going to see more things in here, but right, there are a lot of artistic styles circulating in this period, and there's a lot of artistic innovation, and I'd love to see more. I'd love to see more variation showing up in the game. For a bunch of practical reasons, I totally get if it doesn't happen, and I love this. Love what they have done, but I think there's room to... I think there's at least some room to do more, and even if just like walls. Check the church later in Act 2. Love it. Right, like, even if we just saw it as sort of, little hangings on the wall or things we closer examine, that showcase those different styles, that'd be really, really cool. Alright, we're talking to everybody here. Is anyone here? Nope. 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 Blueprints! Oh boy. Say hi to Mirabilis? True. Oh yeah, also Matilda. God bless you, Master Muller. May I ask you some questions, Sister Matilda? You know Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's truly necessary. I think we're gonna leave them to their cuteness. We're gonna let them be cute together. We're gonna let them be cute together. Mousefinger, help us. Is that what's on the shovel? This shovel has blood on the blade. That's not normal. The garden shovel? I wouldn't say it's mine. It belongs to the Ivy. I just use it more than the other sisters. There's blood on it? I recently used it to kill baby rabbits in the garden. The other sisters are too squeamish to... Aww. I didn't clean it because it was going right back in the dirt anyway. Why I bring up the shovel? Oh, I understand. No, I didn't use it to kill the parrot. A man is not a rabbit. Did you receive a strange note recently? Yes. How did you know? Lucky guess. What did it say? Exactly, chat. Rabbits. Here, look for yourself. They're all in on it. Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. There is a conspiracy. Look, chat. The actual way out of this is that there have been 5 notes distributed. In purple ink. I suspect it is 5, by the way. I suspect there's 1 to Baron Rothvogel, 1 to Matilda, 1 to Lucky, 1 to Ferenc, and 1 to Attilia. And someone with access to purple ink and a comical amount of learning is organizing this entire thing. I'm also incredibly suspicious of, you can see on the edges, I wish I had a good way to show this. I need my cursor visible. Blech. You can see right next to Matutin, and next to like Capital House, there are fragments of another text. This is probably, there's a few things that could do this. Given that it looks like it's backwards, it's possible that this is a case where things were laid on top of each other while they weren't dry, and then they got imprinted or kind of smashed together while they weren't dry. It could also be a type of palimpsest in which something was erased, written over, and then is emerging. I don't know which of those it is. Don't know which one of those it is, but there's something there. There's definitely something there that's really intriguing. Remember what he did, the violence you suffered, the red bird flies, Maddens, chapter, Rotvogel, the red bird. I found it in my bed in the nun's dormitory. You can keep it if you'd like. In your bed? Who would put it there? The only people allowed beyond the garden are the sisters. Can't imagine any of them making this. Mother Cecilia and Sister Illuminata have beautiful handwriting, but both of them have been so kind to me. Also, beautiful handwriting and this handwriting are not the same. Agalaeus, I'm not sure either. Thank you for your time, sister. God bless you, Master Mauler. There's a god... Damn. Yeah. Yeah, the Baroness is a candidate. Cecilia is a candidate. Let's take a look at some things, because I'm extremely curious. Right? Inks. 16th century. Alright, we're going to pull up some materials. We're going to pull up several materials and click back over to here while we have some very nice farm ASMR. What is medieval ink made from? Main name of the Meridia's Medieval History Research Group at the University of Cordova. New insights into iron gall ink. So this is probably going to be black inks. But this is probably going to be very much black ink. Because it's using iron gall, so iron plus oak galls. I am extremely curious, though. Right. Carbon black, oak gall, logwood. These are all creating variations on black inks, which are amazing for this period here. But... soot. These are all just black inks. Blah. This website has broken on my giant screen, so that's helpful. Alright, ink, 16th century. Let's go, purple inks, 16th century. Drawings of the zodiac here. Pen and brown ink, framing lines in purple and red inks. Do we see them? Yeah, you can see right along the border there's that purple. So, this is not a super rigorous one, but silk, but this is England. Yeah. This is all dyeing. Right, this is dyeing, this is not ink. Right. Notably, right. But I guess you could dye things with currants or blackberries. Cochineal. Well. That's not helpful. Doesn't say. Gar. Pigments. We'll switch over from ink to pigments, which are two different things, right? They're not the same, but we have a lot more resources for these colors. Let's see, Mumia. This is going to create blacks. These are whites. These are yellows. These are reds. We'll see if purple has its own thing. No. It's got various blues and reds. So we might be looking at some of the reds here. Could create some fairly dark colors. Yeah. Don't love any of those, TBH. Sanguine, Sinopia, Vermilio. Yeah. That's something we'll have to look into more, chat. If you have resources on 16th century ink, definitely let me know. Cause yeah, I don't know what creates that vibrant purple. Cinnabar? Maybe? See, that creates a more reddish one, but potentially. Yeah. Sit later. I want late material. See, this is... That's all classics. I don't care about classics. Antiquity is not what we want. Pigments. Mercury-based red, cinnabar vermilion, and white, and their degradation. Potentially. Potential. Right, that's the thing, right? Purple is so hard to get. And so that is the biggest clue we have as to who actually did this freaking nonsense and who's behind it all, is who has access to freaking purple. Who has access to that vibrant purple ink, plus the learning to write in a non-rubricated, super fine hand. That is, I think, our best clue. The Archdeacon almost certainly does. The Prince Bishop of Heising almost certainly does. But it's, right now, we don't have a clear suspect. But there is a conspiracy. I think we can definitely demonstrate that there is a conspiracy. And from that conspiracy... From that conspiracy is our best clue as to who actually is behind this whole thing. I know. You'll have to wait on our super slow playthrough. Conspiracy board time? I'm telling you, chat. Vote now. Should I turn this wall into, or this door, right here, into a conspiracy board? Is this where this is going? Is this what we deserve? Yes, absolutely. Yes. Paul did it? No. Paul is perfect, and even if he did do it, he didn't do it. Do it, coward? Alright. Universally, we need the conspiracy board. Fine. I'll order some red string, or I'll pick up some red strings sometime, and a new pack of Post-it notes, and we'll go ham on it. Mousefinger says to you, hey, Mousefinger is also perfect. Don't be like that. Just a section of it devoted to the cute kids and animals? Well, obviously. Also Sebat. Sebat goes in the same section as the cute kids and animals, and Anna has a line to Andreas that just says hat. Duh. Ferenc! Hi. Everyone said you perform blood rituals in the woods? Who would slander me with such a claim? As a matter of the questions, are you a witch? Keep your voice down. They were merely angelic invocations, entirely Christian and benign. Then why are you whispering? I remember too well what has transpired in Innsbruck. And I know the minds of men, even godly men, are now and again poisoned by fear and small thinking. And what were you doing in the forest, Andreas, that you would see me? Having a walk to clear my head. In the middle of the night. A man was murdered, and my mentor is held in blame, Prior Ferenc. Surprised the whole of the Abbey wasn't out there with me. You're not being truthful. You didn't see him at all, did you? Must have been the charcoal burner and his friend the tinker. I knew it! I knew they were spying! You don't want to be seen, you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Red yarn, yeah, I know. Red yarn and masking tape, yep, I know. I know. I just have to actually get around to getting there. You've gotten your answer, are you satisfied? No, you still haven't explained the point of your angelic invocations. That's unless you were really doing witchcraft. Oh yeah, the murderer has 3 children in a trench coat. I love it. Of which I approve, to be clear. Really attempting to invoke the angel's aid to help with the Abbey's financial troubles. What about the court magicians in Hungary who do the same to their rulers? Such ancients are not uncommon in Hungary. You know that's where I'm from. There's not a Michael's near me, Zoe. Well, just dump out like Target or something. They'll have some. I'll figure it out. Exactly, a purple trench coat. Smart. Yes, well, we're not in Hungary, are we? Goliath, look. I'm not worried about the paint on the door. TBH. Not worried about the paint on the door. The part of my floorboards are hot pink. Because of an air conditioning failure. Dyeing this color of sticky note to my floorboards. So, I'm really not too worried about the paint. I should have known you were a fellow practitioner given the books you read aloud of the sisters. I'd have thought you for a dilettante. A sticky note fell. The flood washed it onto the floorboards, and the color leached out onto the floorboards. That's what I get for having an air conditioner from the 1980s. Were your invocations effective prior? Nah. The Lord and his angels do not work on a mortal timescale. Now please, Andreas, you've drawn the truth from me. I trust we can keep this between us, considering our mutual interest. As you wish. And stay out of the forest. Ah. Jerk. We're still going to throw him under the bus. I mean, he didn't. I don't think he did it. Hold on. Hungary magicians work for the king? Is our man talking about the Talatos tradition? I am not familiar with this. Let's look it up. Let's look up what this tradition is. Hello, tradition. Please. Over here. Let's find... Let's try and find a reasonably reliable recent thing. These look great. Perfect. By the power of academia, we have some open access things. Where are we? Game, go away. Telltale's Witch Incubus Succubus and Other Beings in Hungarian Folklore and Mythology from 2018 by Adel Werder. Tall, ghosts, changelings, devils, fair ladies, witch. Witches have the most emphatic role of all mythological figures. Bozorkani, comes from Turkic. Hexes. Telltales. Telltales is the mediator between the world of the living and that of the dead, but may have had other numerous roles, etc. This is looking... I mean, that's not helpfully getting into information about when these are. Rip. That's fine. Great. First part of the study is to analyze the activities of weather wizards called Talatos from the 16th to 21st centuries, as well as that. Fictitious construct of a Talatos. Shocking. Truly just staggering. Yeah. Neat. So definitely maybe, for those. Can we drop links to resources? We can drop a link to that, and we can drop a link to that. There you go. But yeah, looks like the rough guess is a definitely maybe. Um, it's a definitely maybe on whether they're referring to the Taltos and what that means. But right, that is something that that exists in the 16th century in folkloric traditions. Without spending more time than we have, I can't say how closely aligned to court traditions they are, but it's also, I know, a reputation of Hungary as being broadly a spooky place, given, its position on the edge of Latin Christendom. Right? Hungary is the border of Latin Christendom for most medieval, farther western medieval imaginations. And in the 16th century, with the Ottomans rolling up, that it hasn't really changed. Just the question of, is this weird spooky paganism, or is this also just the Ottomans? Oh, hello. Hello, Volkbert. Goodbye, Volkbert. Who else do we have to talk to? If we reported on a witch and murderer in a time when the whole place is tinder for witch trials, we might get some pull with the Archbishop. I mean, betraying a fellow practitioner spoke to us in confidence. Well, yeah, but he also sucks, so I'm not too upset about him. Um, the thing, the thing I am, it is really bad. What it is really bad for is, um, the what's his face? God bless you, Andres. Dang it, I don't have time to talk to Piero. Florian. Where is Florian these days? He's not here. Shocking. Dryden? Abbott? That's the chapter house. That's where we're going next. Oh boy. When you bet Meropolis for luck. But yeah, spare the other suspect. It's also the worst choice for the health of the Abbey. Right? If we credibly accuse Ferenc of murder, this looks real bad for the Abbey at large. Right? Because if the Abbey gets got, the Inquisition is going to come steamrolling through here. And is going to be very, very touch and go for a while. The same would be true of Matilda. True. The same would not be true of Ottilia or Lucky. Though, we didn't really even get a chance to say Lucky was a suspect, so, I guess we're going with Ferenc. Andreas? Excuse me, I'm here at the Archdeacon's request. He can wait a moment. Master Mahler, if you think I am unaware of your actions around the Abbey in the past few days, you are mistaken. Yeah, well, don't really care what you're aware of, huh? You exhumed the corpse of one of the brothers of this Abbey. Technically, we didn't exhume the body, we just removed all the dirt on top of it. I should have expected that cur Otto Zimmerman would help you with such a ghoulish task. He'll pay for his role in this obscenity in due time. Now then, for all your meddling, you will not be welcome in Kirsau after your commission is completed. Yeah, well. What am I going to do? Have Matthew throw me out? The last option, Gurr not the killer. Exactly. Sadly, we cannot throw Gurno under the bus here. If Gurno is going to try and get us kicked out of Curacao, maybe we won't weaken the Abbey. True. It's too late for apologies. Yeah, well, your days of interfering in the daily life of this Abbey will end. Joke's on you, there's 2 more acts to this game. Yes, I already understood that. I'll leave you to the Archdeacon now. Try not to perjure yourself. God save you, Andrea Smaller. Yeah. By the way, chat, my boy, on the Totentans, a vibe. Another nitpick as we get going. No. Why nitpick the Dance of... But I love the Dance of Death. The Dance of Death is incredible. The thing I want from it is I want it to be bigger. I wish it didn't kind of fade into just whitewashing and it was just like the entire thing, just all the way around, just infinite Dance of Death. But you know, as far as it goes, it's actually a really well done rendition of a Dance of Death, and also, you know, every single person in there is a meme, and we love it. Also, you can barely see him, but on the very edge of the screen, who's the guy just going, Oh god. He's got the beard. Oh no, the Archdeacon has the beard that proves he's reliable. Heck. I am a little curious as to why... No, you're in Tallinn? Wait, where is the Dance of Death there? I didn't see it when I was there over the summer. Is it in the old... Is it in the old townhouse? Oh, in St. Nicholas Church. Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't... That was the one that... I think it was that and St. Olaf I didn't get to get over to. But yeah, I am still curious why this is in vernacular, in a monastic context, instead of in... Like, not that it's an impossible thing for the style, it's just... I would not expect it in a specifically monastic context instead of a more lay church. Lay. As if there's such a thing as a lay church. Oxymoron, you know what I mean. A church integrated into a community instead of one that purports to be dead to everything. Jakob, please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, journeyman artist from Nuremberg. What is an artist doing in Curacao Abbey? The Abbey still has some commissions from wealthy patrons. I need the money before I return to Nuremberg. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. The man, Arnold's chin. Arnold's got infinite chin there. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lawrence the Baron Rothvogel? He's a bastard. Would it be fair to say that you did not feel you knew him well? I had... Little Toothbrush. Phenomenal name. Thank you for the follow. I got some sense of him as a person. How would you characterize him? None of these are strong enough. I believe absolute scumbag who deserved what was coming to him is the correct answer to this. Also, you know, a bully, an ass, an assaulter, a lecturer, and all in all, a foul mouth, an absolutely foul excuse for a human being that I have no mercy for. Exactly. Do you think someone would kill him for that? Depends on what the getting what you want actually is, isn't it? I will need more than perhaps. You forgot Lutheran. True, I did forget Lutheran. Someone had to have a reason. If not that, something else. Otherwise, it makes my presence here somewhat difficult to explain. The Baron Wortfogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Genner believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I have met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. He wasn't, though. The Baron was already dead. Stop talking. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron, the loss of his work, the insistence on discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I'm saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron both in the town and the abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? Fairing time? Fairing time. I don't think we can actually prove Martin. Everything is stupidly circumstantial. Right? As tempting as Martin is we don't have... We have everything we need in order to argue that Ferenc did it, even though it's not right. Right? I don't think it's correct. I think his thing actually chants correctly. I just don't think we have the evidence to prove that Martin did it. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both your and Brother Piero's work, does he not? Yes, but Prior Ferenc's role in Scriptorium has little bearing on his motive. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why would I take a word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? Oh, none of them are the correct answer. I can provide evidence of Prior Ferenc's motive. Please do so. You have proof of this? I have a letter the Prior... In it, the Prior mentions that he will not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on a threat to implicate him to Inquisitors in Innsbruck. An implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, possibly even his life. You're at this point fairly certain one of them did the murder, but it doesn't really matter because the game it really isn't about. Exactly. And how do you believe Prior Ferenc would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I found a silver rod that has dried blood in it. A silver rod? Likely a magical tool of some sort, but as a silent weight appropriate for the head wound that the Baron received. How did you come to possess this item? In truth, it involved a little grave digging. Master Muller, why, it is not my place nor my task to hold you liable for what you've done. I will be informing Father Garno. He already knows. Is there anything else to say about the prior? No, Your Reverence. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? Is there anyone else? I love that we don't even get the choice. Do we throw Marden under the bus? Do we throw Marden under the bus? That'll piss off quite a few people, but Marden's a shithead, so yeah, Marden's a jerk. Confuse them, throw everyone. No, we're not throwing everyone under the bus. Trust me, sir, as an occultist, I can guarantee Frank was practicing occult shenanigans. Exactly. A local thief. Yes, his name has come up in my inquiries. My understanding is that he absconded with some of the Baron's valuables. Arnold? Yes, Your Reverence. A silver ring, a gold ring, 12 gulden, 10 groschen, and a book intended as a gift for the Abbey. Thank you. It is my understanding that this boy is known as a thief, but also as a coward, and that the theft was from the Abbey's guest house after the Baron had already left it. Very well. I am not treating him as a serious suspect for the Baron's murder at this time. We don't have anything else to suggest that he is. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron? Yup. Look, I'm not throwing Lucky under the bus, because, deserved it. Like, Attilia probably has generally few consequences, but I think, right, in terms of, like, the long time span, Attilia has few friends, and even though I deeply sympathize with her, we don't really have a lot of evidence, right? We have a motive and we have a potential weapon. Did we find out what happened to Lucky's innocence? We did not. I did not press him on that. Exactly. Assaulted my husband, got him killed, and got 2 people I care about dead. Yeah. Attilia's in a bad situation either way. So, right, because she loses the... Attilia's about to lose her property, which means she's going to die in poverty unless if someone else in the town is willing to take her in. But she doesn't have very many friends, and the only people I think would take her in are the Gärtners, which is a problem. Right, the Gärtners aren't about to do that. Or the Gärtners can't afford to do that, I should say. Otherwise, she dies a homeless beggar in poverty. She does that either way. If I were a law student, you could have helped her. Ah, well, I'm a nerd. Leave her be. Alright, Chad says let her be. We're gonna let her be. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Brother Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Adeljäger has entered his testimony in our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Kirsau has 2, the elderly brother Idok and the younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's just something else about it too. The style is just different. It's unlike Idok and Guy's writing. Unlike mine. Something about with first and second strokes meet on the A and G. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remain a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Well... Chat, do we tell more notes? Do we tell of more notes? This one's spooky, because we only have 3? Yeah. More notes. No. Right. I'm gonna melt. It doesn't help solve the murder, of course. More notes. Alright. Full speed ahead down the torpedoes. Alright. Notes written in the same hand on the same type of parchment to those who have a motive to kill the Baron. Actually, deeply troubling, but again, beyond the bounds of my investigation. In any case, I thank you for bringing it to my attention. Oh, great, we mentioned we mentioned no names. Until next time. Hopefully that won't be it next time. No offense. No, until then. Yep. The final day of Law and Judgment, May 1518. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? We got an achievement. Very dead ferric. You missed the trial, Andreas. The Archdeacon read all the charges and found him guilty. Well, chat, are we committing to our lie, or are we being like, nah, this ain't over. We did in fact get Farron killed. Good job, chat. Congratulations. Congratulations, chat. Ooh, thank you, Joe Kista, for the note. Obviously, content warning. Execution. I can reasonably assume the execution is going to be at least pseudo on screen, so stylized, but gore warning. Embrace. I don't like lying to our host. Nah, he's guilty of something. Oh, if anyone here is achievement hunting, you can always just reload at this point. Exciting. Oh, here comes the procession. Oh, hi Otto. Did I miss anything? No, you're fine. Andreas? Otto. God, look at how dirty the soldiers are. I love them. I love how goofy all the soldiers look. That's something really fine. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi miserere nobis. I didn't do this. God knows it, even if you do not. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi miserere nobis. Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi dona nobis pacem. Grant us peace. Running like a chicken, crying like a woman. Pathetic. Silence! Silence! I order the executioner to carry out his duty. Oh, Anna. Wait, Anna and Bert are in the audience. Fuck. No. Ooh, nice sword. Want him peace and safe contact, whatever may befall him. The kid. Poor kids. Yeah. And Ursula's in the basket? Oh, yeah, she sure is. This is predictable, in that it is what everyone does, but yeah, no one's having a good time with this. Oh, and Paul is behind the executioner, but the sword is the sword does happen to be very, very good. That looks like a 15th century museum piece that I've seen. The Musée d'Armes, I think? There's one in the British Museum, there's one in the British Museum that looks similar, but I think it's the Musée d'Armes in Paris has one that looks almost exactly like this. She doesn't have our hat right now. She's got her own hat right now. Our hat was red. Also, if you accused Attilia or the nun, they would have been suffocated. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds right. Alright, chat. We're... This is bad. The murder should have been given a confession against death as a repentant sinner, an example to the community. Denying guilt with the last words is going to distress people. This is true. Chat, we're gonna watch... Chat, we're gonna watch, obviously, warning. If you are not comfortable with blood, this is a great time to close your eyes, and I will give you a warning when we have moved away from the scene. The blade looks a little broad. Yeah. So, this is correct, right? This is not video games made swords too wide. Executioner swords in this period are just like this. You'll notice also the tip is flat and has 3 points in it instead. That's mostly aesthetic, but the point is that this is a sword that is built for one job, and it is chopping people's necks. But yeah, it is supposed to be pretty much that broad. It's actually really well modeled, and having a very flat tip is correct for the period. Yeah. Yep. You hate this. Farring didn't do it. We know it. He's so distraught. Yeah. Yeah. No, this isn't going to be good for anyone. But yeah, chat. Look away now. I will let you know when we move away from the scene. My god. My god. Hold still. No, no, no. Ooh, that is not a good hit. My Lord Judge hath executed well. You have executed as judgment and law have required. The screen has now gone black, folks, if you want to reopen your eyes. For that, I thank God and my master who just taught me such art. That was not a great execution. What are you... Yeah, that did not go well. I know this was your doing, Andreas. Yeah, well, Garno. What do you want from me? Number 3? Well, just fully burn this bridge. It's funny that this is the worst execution scene because Attilia and Lucky just take it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Attilia probably just doesn't give a shit, and Lucky is too stoic to do anything. Archdeacon. Perfect. The Archdeacon wouldn't have reached his verdict without your testimony. I read it. I didn't say anything that wasn't true. You are no longer welcome at Kirsau, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payment to the Gärtners. May you have a long and successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. Yeah, well. Andreas non grata, we got a new thing. Andreas, has the time come for you to leave us? I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be brief. Father Garno made it clear I was no longer welcome at Kirsau. I pray that time will soften Father Abbott's heart. I hope he eventually realizes you were only trying to help me. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Kirsau does. You have grown beyond this old abbey. Become a master in your... We didn't even finish our masterpiece. I will miss you, my son. Fun fact, if you end Act 1 in the Abbot's good graces, you stay at the guest house like Salamea yourself. Aww, that is a fun fact. He will keep you out of trouble when I'm gone. I pray this is the last trouble I will see in my old age. I have God and you to thank for getting me out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Please, I value your assessment. My opinion of one old monk matters, but all the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. I'm very curious. Oh. Oh my word. Shoutouts to Peter and Big York, by the way. I will assume we time skipped a bit. Truly worthy of the word. And it appears you took my advice to heart. It is gorgeous. I also... The cannon tables are beautiful. The cannon tables here are amazing. I love that dearly. Yeah, this... I mean, this is... looks right for a 16th century, like, Book of Hours. Whoever they got, right... Whoever did this work, I don't know, any Obsidianites in chat? If you do know, do tell me. Because whoever did the artwork for this really freaking... got it. Right. What advice was that? Hey, look, there's us, on the end. And is that little bird? With the candles? But yes, it's amazing. Oh, I love that. That top panel is especially awesome. Yeah, there's so much to love. But yeah, like, whoever at Obsidian, like, did the artwork for this Book of Hours, phenomenal work. It's amazing. I love it. That makes me very happy. Also, I'm noticing at the end, Andreas, the feast day of Andreas the Apostle, at the very end of November. Shoutouts to that. What advice is that? To put yourself into the work. Not just to interpret another's artist's work, but to transform it into something true. It shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. It's a good Book of Hours. What's this? A scrap of parchment? Motherfucker. Do not return here. A warning? Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Adolf's or Brother Guy's. Mother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's coat. More notes delivered to others while I was investigating. It was been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town. And this abbey. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in the past. A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? God knows. He does, and I hope his love can still the wickedness in the heart of whoever wrote this. The artist for Andreas' masterpiece is Hannah Kennedy, the art director. Thank you for that information, and huge shouts to Hannah Kennedy then. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Assuming Father Gurno doesn't forbid it. We must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Mahler. You alright, Master Andreas? What? Are you alright, Master Andreas? Yes, Thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to. Anyway. Doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, no, Casper. It's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like, so many things. Andreas Mahler, I never expected to see your face here again. You've been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years. No. Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. We're gonna finish this, but then we're gonna be back next time. Heck. Arabic? Based Arabic learner? Bits of Czech and Hungarian? Are we going Spanish or Polish? Arabic. Alright, chat. Chat's fairly universal that we need to learn Arabic. See, learning Czech would be very fun. Right, Polish bits of Czech and Hungarian, and can reference cultural touches from Krakow, Prague, and Budapest. Or, well, Buda. Pest is on the other side of the river. But Arabic. If we're breaking into the library, at any point, knowing some Arabic might be helpful. Let's do it. Let's do it! Now, I spent a few years in Aragon. They're quite fond of the Netherlandish painters, and my style was... Oh! Also, this makes a heck of a lot of sense. This makes a heck of a lot of sense anyway, because we are now late enough that Charles V is now king of the Holy Roman... or king of the Germans and of Spain. And so a German artist going to Spain, emulating a Netherlandish style, makes a lot of sense within the political geography of the period as well. Yeah! Are they still conducting the ghastly inquisitions there? Across the peninsula, yes, though less so in Aragon. Why? I find them cruel. The Jews were ejected from Dijon as well. An ugly part of our history. I'm surprised you care at all? Well, I'm not about to leap into a fire to save anyone, but I don't think it's right what's happened. No. Wait, did Guy get based? Fuck. God damn it. In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Curacao. The army hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I simply wanted to pay my respects to an old friend, Shirley. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the Abbey. What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? At the Land House in town. Inner Tavern, usually owned and operated by a single family that serves travelers in rural areas. The Golden Hand. I could tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. Now be off. Not base enough to actually jump into the fire. Exactly. Revolution, June 1525. That sounds like a problem for next time. Unfortunately, we do need to get to a save point. I don't think the game's saved. Yeah, the game last saved 32 minutes ago. If I could make a tactical note, if it could write autosaves whenever there's one of those chapter markers that shows up, that would be helpful, because then we don't have to wait for us to get to a gameplay thing. That monk seemed unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you? Towards the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Curacao Abbey, a nobleman. Father Gurno panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I helped convince our investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible, Prior Farag. He was executed for the crime. There is a time skip. We did just skip, we did skip 7 years ahead. You got someone killed? Yes. I had no idea you were involved in something so... God damn it, Casper. Why didn't you mention it before? Yeah, I know there is a save just ahead, right? As soon as we get control, we're gonna have a save. But, right, for streaming purposes, I don't like doing the introduction to the next 7 years before we wrap up a stream. Like, that doesn't feel very good. Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation if the abbot is still this mad at you. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they're the wrong ones. I've had to live with that. Why did you come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. We're at the end of the Street Lizard. As soon as we get the save, we're wrapping up. To be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. As commissioned, it's an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new step, a new commission more than the last. Each step I take towards home is agonizing. Nader with 100 bits. Is it right that historians have lavished so much attention on the medieval nobility when it exists as a very small percentage of the overall population? Historiography! Hooray. You know, the lavishing attention on the nobility, kind of stopped being true in the starting in the 1930s, but really picking up in the 1950s with the Annales School of French historiography, that really started with the simultaneous acceptance of Marxist discourses into academic thought. Right, there's a really rapid shift in the mid-20th century away from political history and history that is primarily interested about elites to try and really get at broader social histories, cultural histories. And we do have problems with sources, but, you know, is it right? Obviously no, because everyone, ultimately, there's a lot of interesting stories that come out of focusing on non-elite people and doing interesting analysis of our records about non-elite people. Are our sources still broadly showcasing elite perspectives, even about non-elite people? Yeah, and we have to have deep understanding in order to help account for those ways to do more interesting analysis. Anyway, soon we finish this. But, Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg. I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. Don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have and be unhappy. Aww. Aww. Once I wanted this life so much that I consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed, or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. Learn from my mistakes, alright? Alright. Yes, Master Andreas. I shouldn't be burdening you with such dark thoughts. Come, let's visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long. As you like, Master Andreas. And save. Alright, chat, and on that extremely cheerful note, we're wrapping up. I'm actually really excited for what this means. I'm hoping that means next stream we're going to get a lot more interesting kind of mental, psychosocial histories, exploring sort of Andreas's depression and burnout in relation to the social strictures of the time. Because that is a super interesting way of doing history, one that really does some really innovative work. This is going to be really sad, but I think it can be really, really interesting if they do it well, exploring sort of the tensions and the really tough psychosocial restrictions on this period. That emotional history, as it ties with how people act and relate to each other, is going to be really, really interesting, and I hope that they do it the justice that they've done everything else so far. But yeah, that wraps up our stream for today. This has been a long one, but a good one. So, if you did like this and have not done so yet, do make sure you hit that follow button just to be notified for when we're going live again. Next stream is going to be Thursday, a bit earlier in the day, to keep an eye on that. It's in the schedule down below. So do keep an eye on that. We'll be back earlier on Thursday for more of this, because of course there's going to be more of this. What else did you think? What else do you think it was going to be? I'm loving this game so much. But yeah, until then, I hope you all have a lovely, lovely rest of your evening. And yeah, we will see you then, alright? Bye-bye.